everybody, welcome to Chicago. Here we are on Michigan Avenue once again. We got sunshine and we got mid 40s, so it was, or we're above 40 degrees, let's just put it that way. I don't know what the exact temperature is, but hey, the sunshine helps. And we were 31 degrees this morning. We saw the sunrise there on Lake Michigan on TikTok. But here we'll head up to the river and we'll see what these sirens are. Here come some sirens here. And we'll see if the river's still green here. Hey, Heather B. The whole fire crew came out there. Look at that. Wow. So there's the, I think they came from the fire station up there on Upper Columbus. We walk by that one sometimes there. They come screaming down. They can go straight down from Columbus, ramp down, and get to Michigan Avenue. That's why that fire station's in that location. And hey, Lambie G, Michael, Alvin, Chris, thanks for tuning in here. Yeah, we'll cross Michigan Avenue. We'll head over to the Riverwalk. Figure since the sun's out, we'll see if the river looks green at all still yet. It's fading away. We'll get the last bit of the green dye there. I probably won't come downtown over the weekend. And we'll check it out here. I know they're doing the Shamrock Shuffle on Sunday, but I'm downtown Monday through Friday. I don't need to come back downtown on Sunday just for that. But I even talked to some of my runner friends that do marathons and stuff. They said they missed the deadline. Hubert, how you doing there? Good afternoon. Heather B, Lambie T, Michael Anderson. Yeah, hello. Alvin. Yeah, Chris, Heather B, Sharon. I think we got you back to the beginning there, Heather B. Such a pretty day. Yeah, how you doing? How you doing, sir? Appreciate it. How you doing? Appreciate it. Thank you. How you doing? I'm live stream. I'm not going to give you any money, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you. I know that guy. He's been, just like the other guy for 20 years, and I used to, I stopped going to the Chipotle because he sits out there every day. He probably makes more money than I do. He has a cell phone. He has a car. That's just his job, just to sit there and guilt people into giving them money. So that's up to him. I used to be nice and try to talk to him after COVID. I gave him some money, and then he insulted me giving him money. And if people insult me giving me money, I'm gonna stop giving him money because he's not homeless. He only works during business hours. He only works when the Chipotle is open or when people go to the Chipotle. So there you go. And he knows I'm not a tourist. He just doesn't like me, and I don't like him. Here's the look at this. Here's the Trump Tower. Here's the and since I'm filming, he thinks he can guilt me into giving him money because people tuning in will be like, why'd you give him any money? Why did you give him any money? I'd rather give money to this person here that's more deserving. So here we'll cross Michigan Avenue. And I feel bad for the guy. He does walk with a cane. I think he's retired. I think that's what it is. He's on a fixed income. But it's like, bro, I'm going to be in the same boat. We're all going to be on Social Security here, and then they're going to cut it. Hey, let's head to the river. Let's go over this way. Anita, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in.
Constant noise.
Hey, there you go.
Voice can change everything.
Yeah, they're going to do the
media marketing. Founded by visionary Kenneth W. Welch Jr., is revolutionizing how talent is discovered, developed, and shared with the world. Our global network connects extraordinary artists with audiences hungry for.
Look at these flowers here. Here's the flowers of dreams here. Keep yourself. There you go. Look at that. Look at that nice view to the Wrigley, the Tribune. Look at the Green River here. Hey, Tony, how you doing there? Thanks for understanding, Sharon. No, I'm empathetic to the plight of the homeless. We pass the real homeless, the people sleeping in tents, in the park. They're not asking me for money. They pretty much keep to themselves. That's what you call a confidence man. You know, there'll be somebody that'll come up to you in the street. They'll be like, "Can I ask you a question?" And you'll be like, if you say no, they'll be like, "Oh, you're racist." And then if you say yes, they'll ask you for money right away. And I've tried all different. It's a perfect con because they try to get you to say yes. You know, "Can I ask you a question?" "Yes." "Can you give me $1?" So it's like a, you know, it's you know, it gets you in that mode of saying yes. If you say no, then they'll gaslight you. They'll be like, "Oh, what's your problem?" "I'm just trying to ask directions for my baby." I'm like, "Where's your baby at?" You know. Here, look at the it's the oldest game in the book. Here's the Marina Towers. There's the Trump Tower. Another con man right there. Yeah, I said it. You can send all the hate mail right to me there. Don the con there. See, those bottom 2 levels of the Trump Tower, they've never leased them out. They've always used it to depreciate. They write it off on their taxes. It's a game they play. You know, most of we know what's going on. I won't spoil on it anymore. Welcome to Chicago. We're gonna head to the Riverwalk here. Happy Friday. Here's the Jewelers Building. There's the Wabash Avenue. Hey, we got a boat going by here. Let's check it out here. Hey, Chicago's Emerald Lady there. Look at that. Yeah, the Green River. The river still looks green here on Friday. The river still looks green. Look at that. King of the Con. Yeah, Don the Con there. Michael Anderson, how you doing there? We caught some people flipping off the building. A lot of people pose for pictures and they'll be flipping off the building. And other people are like very patriotic. They're like, you know, they feel like reverence for the country when they see this building. Look at the Green River. Let's head down there. Let's enjoy the sunshine. But hey, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, we'll go by Irv Cupsonet. This bus is always parked here. Just join. We're on Wacker Drive here. We're going to enjoy this beautiful spring-like day. There's Lucia. Look at Lucia go through in the Green River there. Yeah, welcome to Chicago. How you doing there, Lambie? Zaputina. There, New York, New York. No, this is Chicago. Zaputina, this is Chicago. I know it looks like New York City, but I don't think anybody from New York City would mistake Chicago for New York. I was talking to Chris, which is Zen Chef Mo there. He was like, "Yeah, you're right." Hey, look at that. Did it turn around right away? There's Chicago Leading Lady. It was going one way. Did it turn around that quickly? Hey, one boat goes one way, one goes the other. Look at that. And look at that nice view to the Wrigley, the Tribune. Here, let's get down here. Let's get down to the river here. I'm like, I want this is what I want to see, the boats. Chris, how you doing there? Such a pretty day. Yeah. Irv Cupsonet. So here, we'll head around here. There's Wabash, 17th Church of Christ Scientist. Yeah, Maria Towers are looking nice. The Corn Cob Building's just like a Wilco album. See, Irv Cupsonet Bridge. I didn't realize it was named the Irv Cupsonet Bridge. He was a sports, well, he wasn't just a sports broadcaster. He worked for the Sun-Times, and he had his own show that was syndicated. And, hey, there's Tall Trump Tower. There's the Langham Hotel, the old IBM building, which is now the American Medical Plaza here. Trying to cross the street here. There's left turns. We got to wait for the left turns. This is a long light. I would have already went down to the Riverwalk, but they were working on it. See how they got it closed there, and so we have to head over to the Vietnam War Memorial to go down to the Riverwalk here. Yeah, it's a pretty day. Yeah, look at the big brain on the person from Russia there. You know, we don't like Russia in America. We do not like Putin. I do not like Putin. I know I'm not going to take it out on the Russian people here, but thanks for tuning in. We're streaming clear for the rear here, and thanks for tuning in. We'll show you the Green River here. We'll show, hey, look at that. Here's the shoreline sightseeing, and here's the Vietnam War Memorial here. My father was in the Vietnam War. Maybe your father was in the Afghanistan War for Russia. That was Russia's Vietnam, the first one. Here's the shoreline sightseeing there. Look at that. Hey, they got the announcer there. How you doing there? Yeah, get ready to block that person. I think that's a person to troll or something. I just, you know, yeah, maybe they'll like that person on the tower we're showing there. That'll be perfect. That makes sense. And of course, the Russian would like Trump. Yeah, we're having a good day here. Welcome to Chicago. Here's State Street, Marina Towers, and hey, Irish citizen, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, we're gonna get a bunch of immature comments. It just shows that, hey, at least YouTube's pushing my content to people that don't usually watch it, and there's not as many people that tune in for live streams. Thanks for being on, mods. I really appreciate it. And everybody else here, just the nature of social media. We get pushed to the least common denominator and get back to juvenile behavior. Here's look at the bottom of the Marina Towers here. I feel bad for female live streamers. They get it even worse. And look at the nice dogs here. These, usually the men are the worst, including me. Hey, there's a bunch of people coming down the stairs here. I wonder when they're going to open the city winery. We'll see if they put these boats back. But hey, look, the river's still green here. They dyed the river green on Saturday. We're Friday, almost a week after. Hey, we got field trips. People checking out the river. 40 degrees. We're above 40 degrees. It's not too bad. Peace, love, and sunshine there. Yeah, that's good. How you doing there? The rain, peace, love, and sunshine, like your name there. No, there's a lot about social media I don't like, and I get death threats, so that's why we don't take jokes lightly here. Sometimes people joke about death threats. You think that's funny, You jump in the river there, It's not a funny joke. It's not even funny. If your joke was funny, we would like it. It's not even a funny joke. It's a stupid joke. And if you can't take us yelling at you, then don't yell at us. And don't try to do jokes in the comments. Just don't even try. Because, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about anybody. Jokes are really hard to see. Hey, let's check out the hot tub boat. Here, this will put us in a good mood. I was wondering if people would be out in the hot tub boat. And sometimes people do jump off the bridges. You see viral videos of people jumping off the bridges. You better get out before you get hypothermia. This water is 34 degrees. And if you live stream as much as I live stream, your joke is not funny. It's just not funny. It's not. It's just not even. It's just a stupid comment. Here, look at the hot tub boat here. Look at that. Look at that. That is awesome. See, look. I hope they're blocked so they're not able to see this. Look at this nice, beautiful people here in the hot tub boat, enjoying the river here on a nice summer day. Hey, Chris, how you doing there? Heather B. Thanks, everybody. Yeah, I'm not reading the comments either. Hey, you're in the house there. How you doing there, Ernesto? Tehran there. You're 312 North Clark. Your brother works there. Hey, that's a good location. Thanks for tuning in there. How you doing? There's RPM Seafood. And if you think I'm on here to win friends and influence people, you're greatly mistaken. I'm here just to I usually take a walk at lunchtime anyway. I was doing this even before live streaming. I would take a little stroll. I would walk. All the same things we do. I was doing this before live streaming. This gives me, I can share it. I'm trying to share the experience here. Yeah, thanks for being here, Anita. Thanks for being here, Michael. I appreciate it. Chris is working, so he's probably driving around, but sometimes he can put it on the background. I'm glad he's back at work here. That's good news. And I think another thing people don't understand is I have a day job. And so when I work in these live streams before work and after work, like when you're driving to work in the morning, you might not be in the best mood because it might be a Monday and you're going to work. Same as me. I'm trying to get to work. I got other things on my mind. And same as lunch. I might have been stressed out from work. I have a day job. People just think I lay around all day and just live stream. No, I got a 40-hour job, and the last thing you and I or people in the comments needs is trolls, you know. And so if I react harshly, that's why. Yes, I am an old man. See, look, they insulted me by calling me an old man, and then they expect me to take their stupid jokes, you know. I'm like the dad driving the car. I'm like, shut down there, kids in the back. Be quiet in the station wagon. Just enjoy the ride here. Look out the window. Yeah, before there was live streaming, like Deo Talk used to do it, and Dan All Day New York City, he was doing it back in the Twitch era, even before the pandemic, like 2019. You know, that's where it started with Twitch. People took it outside, and then TikTok, and then now they do it on YouTube and Instagram and everything. I like it's a way for me to showcase the city. Like yesterday, we went inside the Marshall Fields there, saw some nice views from inside and outside. Here we're going underneath the Clark Street Bridge here, the Green River. I appreciate everybody that enjoys this content. I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to fight the trolls and people that don't like me or make stupid jokes. I'm going to go on somebody else's live stream, make a stupid joke, and then if they don't like the joke, I'll fault them. Like, what, you don't get jokes? I'm like, no, it was a bad joke. It was a stupid joke. All right, I'll block you just for making a stupid joke. That's good. That's enough reason. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. There's LaSalle Street. Hey, it just ruins the whole flow of things. I got to just ignore it. Sweet Home Gelato. I want them to open this up. There, the Chicago School. What is that? It's called the Chicago Cut Steakhouse. There's some market over there. I remember when they built this building. It's the merchandise mart. Hey, Dolores, how you doing there? Master, how you doing? Yeah, thanks for tuning in there. It's not too bad. Hey, look at this dog. Hey, I see some buds in the trees. We're seeing more signs of spring. These trees down here by the river, they're kind of somewhat protected. So these will probably turn green the first. Last year at this time, these trees were turning green. They were earlier last year than this year. They said the cherry blossoms in Washington, D.C. are going to bloom early this year, earlier than usual. And so spring's coming early. Hey, see, they got a selfie stick there, taking a nice picture there. Look at that nice shot there. How you doing? Yeah. Yeah, we're young at heart. We're young at heart. I'm the same way. Age is a state of mind. And there's always going to be generation gaps. I can relate to people older than me. I can relate to people younger than me. I think that's a good thing. I don't try to just hang out with people my age. It's good to hang out with younger people. It's good to hang out with older people. Hey, there's the, I thought there was a train. Here comes it. Look how fast this barge, look how it's kind of drifting as it made that turn there. Here's this Riverview barge here. Let's get out here and watch this. Here's the Wolf Point here. Merchandise Mart. Chicago River is still kind of green here. Trees in North Carolina are already blooming. How's it going, Nisi? Yeah, that's nice to hear. Yeah, North Carolina and South Carolina, it is more mild. You know, I was traveling there for business there. I noticed that too. The nice pine trees. There's a siren going by. Hey, there's the barge there. Let's check out the people here. Look at that. Hey, Brews and Bites. Oh, I forgot to. I get to work and I keep forgetting to unmute Grim Evil. I need to unmute Grim Evil. I'll do it. I told him this morning and then I forgot to do it. Every day I got to remember to unmute Grim Evil. As soon as I get back to work, I check my email and then I get distracted by work stuff and I forget to do it. There's some green shoots down there. Plants are starting to come back. I think I understand the troll mentality better now after doing this for 2 years, and it's good that we talk about it because it's part of society. they get a brief bit. They feel so powerless in their own life. They feel like a brief bit of power for like ruining someone else's life. And so that's exactly what that person was doing. And they'll be back tomorrow, and they'll be back the next day. And isn't it amazing that they must have a lot of time on their hands just to watch my live streams at lunchtime? And it's almost like a revenge thing, you know? It's like, well, I'll get you tomorrow. And they'll be back, and they'll be back, and they'll be back the rest of my life like a little wasp flying around. And it is a form of bullying, but they probably felt bullied in their life, and it's the only way they can bully other people. Look at the, there's the L train heading across there. There's the brown line heading into the loop there. Look at that. Hiya, how you doing there? Yeah, your baby boy there's getting big. There's 5-6 months old there. I remember like yesterday when you announced it, you know. There's the Fort Dearborn there. Look at that. Hey, Naya, I know we met at Lollapalooza in person. Remember that last year? My live stream wasn't working. Otherwise, I would have cut that out if you were okay with it. But I got my one-day ticket. I'm just going to go Thursday this year. It's a 4-day thing. I'm just going to go Thursday to Lollapalooza, and then I'll probably watch it on TV the rest of the time. But I'll go there and try to stream. But I looked at Sueno's. Sueno's ticket is just as expensive as Lollapalooza. I got to see if I'm doing something on Memorial Day or not. It's Sueno's is around Memorial Day. Shakira is going to play Saturday, the headliner. That might be the day to go. But it's a 2-day festival. Sueno's is a Latin music festival, a lot of reggaeton and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to go to it for both days, but if I go to one, it'll be that with Shakira is there. Here comes the water taxi. The water taxi's working. So maybe next week we could take the water taxi. I still have some water taxi tickets. And what time we got here? 12:24. Yeah. Tetris. Here, look at Salesforce Tower. So that's residential. That's offices. And this is Wolf Point. They finally built it out. And Merchandise Mart. Here's the Confluence. And we'll head over to Lake Street. Did you see that? Remember, yeah, we got to talk about this. I feel more free to talk about it, and if it brings on more trolls, so be it. So what? It's going to happen anyway. We're going to see people marching in the streets this summer anyway, so get ready for an active protest summer. But, you know how Elon said, oh, bring back comedy. They canceled comedy. Jimmy Kimmel, who's a pretty funny guy, he's got a show. There's a reason he has a late night show. Just like Jimmy Fallon, he's pretty funny. And he was ripping into Musk. And Musk didn't find it funny. And you can look it up about what he said. It was pretty good. He was ripping into him. And see, Elon likes jokes as long as it's not on him. Elon still has a very juvenile humor, you know. He's like your college frat boy. He likes the memes that the college frat boys would like, you know. And I guess, yeah, it's his prerogative. If I was a billionaire like him, I guess I would probably like that too. Look at the chairs. They got the chairs back out here so people could sit and sun themselves. But I thought Jimmy Kimmel was pretty funny. And Elon said bring back comedy, so, you know. And that's always a tell of an authoritarian administration. They can't laugh at themselves, you know. And here comes the pink line there. They get really, you know, I can laugh at myself. So I can make fun of myself. I'm easy fodder for the trolls to make fun of, you know. And well, if you're gonna make fun of anybody, make fun of me. You know, I can take it, but if I don't find it, you know, if I don't laugh, you know, it's just not funny. Here, we'll head across this bridge here. Let's go over to check out the Calatrava statue there. I know. They're the biggest joke. Nah. They got to do what they got to do. It's human nature. Money, power, and greed, selfishness. Let's get up here and watch this boat going across here. Here, let's get up to the Lake Street Bridge here. And let's cross here. There it is. Look at that Windella boat. Let's see if we can get to it before it goes underneath us here. Yeah, it's nice to see the architectural cruise boats out back out. It's moving fast there. Look at that. Yeah. Still got some snow. Here comes the train. There's the pink line. Yeah, I just got home from Illinois. Dude, looking out my back door. What's going on at Saturday night show? What, you want to look at a certain theater? You want to see what's going on in the Chicago theater? We might walk by the Chicago theater on the way back. Ernesto, what are you asking about something specific on Saturday night? Yeah, sometimes it hits a nerve. And that's the amazing thing. That's the amazing thing about live streaming. People will ask you personal questions that make you question your life. Just like, you know, movie stars get this too. People ask me why I'm not married, why don't I have kids, do I have regrets? Yes, of course I do, you know. I'm older than most live streamers, you know. I'm 49 years old. People make fun of my age. You know, I guess everybody's supposed to be in their 20s. Dan's younger than me. Most of the live streamers are younger than me. Jay gets it too. Jay and I are like the same age. And, or the same Gen X there. There's, look at that. There's the shoreline. Bright Star. Bright Star is going to head around here, so let's get it with the skyline there. Look at that. Yes, I am worried about the United States becoming some sort of authoritarian dictatorship. It's part of a global thing. It's not just the United States being affected by this. Germany, there's a rise of authoritarianism in Germany with that far-right party that J.D. Vance endorsed, and Elon. The merger of billionaires with government, the amount of billionaire money in elections, and it's affecting all our democracies, and it's playing right into the China and Russia's authoritarian playbook there. They're going to divide Americans and weaken us. They're going to let us weaken ourselves. I argue that some of Trump's tariff policies are weakening the United States, it's weakening our economy, and it could bring on a global recession. Vladimir Putin would love that, because then we'd have less will to fight him. And if we're going to destroy ourselves, why should he spend any capital doing it? Let us destroy ourselves. We are a divided nation. We got issues. We got too much debt. We do. Democrats are part of that problem, but so are Republicans. It's bipartisan debt. The debt was added on Republican administrations and Democrat. I'm glad they're trying to make government more efficient, but don't use a chainsaw to do it, or don't use the image of a chainsaw. That's actually what Jimmy Kimmel's joke was about, the chainsaw. You know, and Elon didn't like it. But Elon did the chainsaw. It's affecting his business. It is a tragedy that people are targeting his cars. I don't want violence to come to people working at Tesla stores. We know people that have relatives that work at Tesla stores. They work at the maintenance dealership. You know, we go to maintain your car there. And people, regular people with regular jobs are employed by Tesla. You know, so... positive, negative. But Elon should feel responsible for his company and his company's stock and his shareholders. He personally doesn't care if you lose money, but people that own his stock do care, and people that work for his company do care if he can't sell cars. You know, if they need their jobs, just like I need my job. There, we'll cross here. We're waiting to cross. We're under the L tracks here. And here, look at that. Look at this thing for you. You get under the Lake Street Bridge here. We'll go by the 150 North Riverside here. We got 12:30 in the PM. How you doing here? Welcome to Chicago. Hey, look at the ground covers coming out here. They got a seating wall. So we'll see if the green dye is heading down the South Branch, because it does, the water flows this direction. Yeah, Bernie Sanders. Listen to Bernie Sanders there. 8:32 in Switzerland. Thanks for tuning in there. Tanuki, Highlander. Yeah, thanks for checking out Chicago. Oh, I know. Ernesto, I mean, anytime somebody from Canada tunes in, I apologize as an American. My president is embarrassing me. I like Canadians. Even conservative Canadians are really nice. They're friends and allies, you know. I know they ousted Trudeau, but they got their own political divide. But what is uniting Canada right now? There's more Canadian flags and patriotism for Canada, because the statements our president is making, it's pissing off one of our closest trading and military allies. Why would you do that? It's like you move next door to somebody and then you start like throwing garbage on their lawn. That's what we're doing. Or you start like sending them bills in the mail, you know? I don't know why the arrogance of Trump to treat people, you know, he gets away with treating other people like that, and then he treats whole countries that way. It's just being an asshole and a jerk. And yes, I said it. So we're going to get a bunch of pushback. I have to be true to myself. I'm not going to stand silent, because if I don't, like, I was neutral. I personally, even though I have my own personal feelings, you know, and you know, during the DNC, that's why I was subscriber only. I didn't comment as much, but now we're beyond that, and I'm not going to stay silent. Here's the Bank of America. Here's the South Branch of Chicago River. So we're going to we're going to divide into two things. You know, moving forward, there'll be the internet for the Republicans, there'll be the internet for the left, and we won't be able to use the same internet because we won't be able to get along, and we won't get the same information, we won't get the same news. We'll float off in two different directions. People will divorce over politics. It's going to get that bad, and I'm surprised it hasn't happened already. It happened during the Civil War. When I researched my ancestors' family that lived in the United States, people got divorced during the Civil War. It happened. They came back from the war and their wife had a different man. That happens. Or, more often, the man got a younger wife and abandoned his first family. That happened in the Civil War too. And you don't realize it until you go through the census there. Or the man just never came back. At that time, people would just go to California and never come back. You know, Rockefeller, the oil magnate there, his father had multiple families. He was a bigamist. Rockefeller's father was a bigamist, if you look in history there. And he would pop into his mother's house. He had a bunch of kids there. And that's why J.D. Rockefeller, to his defense there, he did actually, you know, spend time with his own kids, because he didn't really have a good father, and his mother raised him, and that was in the 1800s. Because his father was a bigamist, had multiple families, and you could get away with that in the 1800s because he would just cross state lines, and they didn't share records, you know. But here we're over on Randolph Street. Here's this Bazaar Market, Bazaar Meats. It's a pretty popular restaurant. They'll have people sitting outside here. This is the Boeing there. This is Wacker Drive. There's the Sears Tower. Here, let's cross the street here. There's Wacker Drive looking north here. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Chicago. We got 40 degrees here. We're on Wacker, where it wraps around the western side of the loop here. Usually we walk over there. I think I will cross the street because I want to get to that side of the street. I was just waiting for the light to change, that's why. Sometimes I want to just keep moving there. Glad in my country we don't have a president. 4 biggest parties, left, middle, and right. That's interesting there. Oh, you're talking about Switzerland. Yeah, that's good. Well, Switzerland's pretty stable. That's why you got the banks there. It's considered, I guess Switzerland stayed neutral during the World War II, and that had a lot to do with it. Here, we'll head under this overhang here. The Swiss Bank, there on LaSalle Street, there's the UBS. We have a Swiss Bank corporate offices here. I know the headquarters there, probably in Geneva or Bern there, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, beautiful Chicago, Lorraine there. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in here. Thanks for taking. Yeah, that's good. So, what else is going on? Rome's tuning in there. Macedo. Yeah, buongiorno. Ciao, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in. It's going to get windy. It might be really windy when I walk home on TikTok. The wind's already starting to pick up. I know it makes it hard to hear. This is the Windy City. We'll walk back. We'll walk by the Thompson Center. We'll see how many, if they have any extra layers of glass curtain wall that they're adding to the reconstruction they're doing. Google there. There's the Sears Tower. There's the Sears Tower looking down Franklin Street. We're in the loop of Chicago here. I think we can cross here. Yeah, we got the light. There's the Sears Tower, 1,400 feet tall, over 400 meters tall. There it is. Over here, guys. Look, there's not a column on the corner. There's not a column. All the weight is cantilevered over here. It's like the Citicorp building in New York City, but this is Chicago. And this is the CNA building. How you doing? Thanks for saying hello. That's great. Enjoy the weather here. That's good. Yeah, have a great day there, Naya. Liver lives. So if you watch on TikTok, I have over 200 videos of the South and West Side. This Thursday, what is this Thursday? The Sox home opener. So on Thursday on TikTok, I'll start on YouTube at lunchtime and we'll head through Chinatown. I'm going to walk through Bridgeport. We're going to go to Sox Park, 35th. I'm going to walk there. At least if the weather, we'll see what the weather's like. I do go to the South Side. You know, I work downtown. I have a day job. I live on the North Side. So sue me. I like the South Side. I like the West Side. If I spent all my time in the South Side, it wouldn't be enough for the people who live on the South Side. I know you're very patriotic to your side of the city. I admire that. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Chicago. And I don't tell you what to do. You're an American. Don't tell me what to do. I'm an American. Respect my autonomy here. So here we'll cross underneath Wells Street. Where's Wells Street? And we'll go by. I'm heading back to work. This is my lunch break. So there's Palace Theater. We're gonna walk by the. We're gonna walk by. And please check out my South Side and West Side videos. I was talking with Chris. We might go down to Pullman. I went to Pullman on my original account. TikTok deleted all those Pullman videos. That was 111th. And look at the pink line heading through 111th Street. And we want to go back down there once the weather warms up, and we'll redo the footage that TikTok deleted of the South Side. TikTok deleted South Side footage. So be angry at TikTok. That I'm angry at them too. Here's the State of Illinois building. This is the original State of Illinois building. And then there's the Thompson Center, which they called the State of Illinois building. How confusing was that? Here's the Palace Theater. They're still showing Beetlejuice, I think. And here we'll go by the Thompson Center. Go to the Sox game there. We'll go to the home opener there on Thursday. I'm looking forward to it. We've gone to it the past 2 years. This will be the third year. We've live streamed it before the game. I'm not going inside. Here's where the DMV is. And here's the Board of Trade. Remember we walked down there earlier in the week? And I'll have to go back down to the Wintrust building and maybe film it. The beautiful lobby of the Wintrust building. It used to be the Continental Bank. And it's just a beautiful interior. But here's we'll cross the street here so we can see what the Thompson Center looks like. I got distracted here. So there's the Palace Theater. Yeah. So look at the spam there. Reba, you just send the same spam. Reba must be a bot because they sent that exact same wording. It's just like they copy and paste the same thing over and over again. So there you go. So look at the curtain wall there. We're getting all the fun stuff today. Look at that curtain wall in the Thompson Center. Look how you can look underneath this building. So this is going to be the new Google downtown here. This used to be the State of Illinois building, Thompson building, designed by Helman Jan. We've been updating you on the progress. See how the glass is coming around the front there. Hubert, look, you see that? And you can look into the atrium there. Look at the crane here. They got a crane right here. So this is between LaSalle and Clark Street on Randolph. Yeah, it's time to block Reba. We're going to have to block Reba completely. Thanks for being a jerk there, Reba. People show their true colors here. Look at the scaffolding in there. Yeah, Michael, please block Reba, and I'll have to make sure I completely delete them from my life. They're just going to keep coming back and keep. Look at the time people have. People have time on their hands. You know, who has time to someone they don't like to like troll their site? You know, it's just what is it like a full? Do people get paid to do this? They're sitting in some like North Korean like troll booth there. You know, look at this. Look at the Clark Construction here. Here's the Thompson Center. Here we'll head over. What time we got? 12:43. We'll cross the bike path here. Thank you. Thanks, Michael. Thank you, sir. We knew they would come back. We knew that they copied and pasted the exact same comment they did before, and it was almost like happening in the same place, you know. And I think some of this is like there's a lot of people out there that all they do is troll people and they get off on it. There's this nice. She's like 30 some years old. She's a live streamer on Instagram. She's got a pretty good following. She goes, some people have a degradation fetish where they like to degrade other people, and they actually get like sexual arousal off of it. And she gets it on her page as a woman, and they keep coming back and they harass her because they want to degrade women. And this guy wants to degrade me, or Reba. Maybe it's a woman that wants to degrade a man, and that goes on too, to a lesser extent. There's that goes on too, or they might think my sexuality doesn't align with theirs or something, you know. And I'm a heterosexual man, you know. If you want to call me a pejorative, you can do at it, but I'm not the, you know. It's just like you're in high school and your frat boys there calling you pejoratives, you know. That's what's going on here. That's okay, Sharon. It's what happens. This is what the world is. This is what whatever like ideals we have about like enlightening the world or making a world a better place, or Google don't be evil, you know. Then billionaires become trolls. We got billionaires in the White House. I mean, we got trolls in the White House that are billionaires that buy a whole social media company so they can troll society. You know, we're talking about Elon. And so if Elon does it, other people's like, oh, he's a successful billionaire. Well, I'm going to emulate his behavior. Here's the Nederlander. But we're not going away. We've been doing this for 2 years. We're not going to let them win. They're proving how pathetic they are. Here, look at the bike lane here. 25 years of Broadway in Chicago. I can smell the Garrett's popcorn here. People are taking pictures here. See, we're underneath the Nederlander Theater here. We're on Randolph. See people taking pictures here. Broadway in Chicago, the Nederlander sign there. Yeah. So here, we'll go by the Chicago Theater. We'll see what's on the marquee here. Thanks for tuning in here. That's what it is, Nisi. You got it. And everybody has different levels of consciousness, you know. I'm not, I could stand to gain some consciousness myself. So here, let's go. Yeah, State Street, the Joffrey Ballet. Here's the Chicago Theater. Look how nice it looks in the sun. People are riding their little scooters there. Experience Hendrix 2025 tour. You know, we get the Jimi Hendrix experience. Here's the Gen C Statistical Film Center. Chicago Theater, the Red Line. People are riding bikes, taking pictures. Look at that, the wedding, the nuptial couple. They're taking pictures in front of the Chicago Theater here. Look at that. Scenes of the city there. Yeah, look at the beautiful nuptial couple there. It looks good. Yeah, it looks good. That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Chicago Theater. Look at that. So here's the red line. This is what motivates me, just daily scenes of daily life. People getting married there, celebrating in front of the Chicago Theater. What a nice day. So here we'll go by Channel 7. Yeah, looking good there, it's good. Yeah, they're honking for him. They're honking for the married couple there in Chicago. So I just showed the theater. You got the internet, you can look it up online. You know, I didn't see it said Saturday. Is this Saturday? I don't know. Experience Hinders tonight. So they're not showing what's on Saturday. They changed all 3 marquees for what's going on Friday night, so it's not saying what's going on Saturday. You can look it up online. You don't have to ask me. You're smart enough to look it up. Just type it into a chat box or a search engine. You don't have to wait for me to tell it. There you go. Look at that. There's State Street. Yeah, are you experienced? I'm experienced. I know what that means. And yes, I am experienced. And I wish the rest of the world, I would love to turn the world on there. Just like the Beatles. Look, people taking pictures here. Here, we got some time here. Let's head over to the Bean here. I'm not ready to go back. Then we'll go by the Torture Museum here. There it is, Chicago Theater, taking pictures. Yeah, there's the married couple there. Yeah, have a great weekend there. There it is. September 5th. Hey, look at that. Hey, how you doing? Hey, they're looking at the photos. Yeah, Jimmy thing. Jimi Hendrix. So here we'll take a left, we'll go down Randolph and we'll pop out at Millennium Park. We'll check out the Bean really quickly. And then tonight we'll be on TikTok. We'll just head home there. We saw the Chicago Hinge last night. That was nice. You can check out, I posted another rerun. I timed it to music, to Pink Floyd. And then we posted that Bob Newhart. We posted the Bob Newhart statue at the end of Navy Pier. So there's State Street. We'll take a left and we'll head over towards Millennium Park here. Get the train going by. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. Yeah, I would venture to say you're correct there, Tanakai, Taniki. I can't say your name right, I apologize. Yeah, I venture to say there'll be less tourists in America because of Trump's tariffs and the backlash against what we're abandoning our NATO allies, kind of. We're just hanging them out to dry. I know it's all about money. They want them to contribute more money, but it's even deeper than that. And so that's on the new administration's head. You know, Chicago, this city, we rely a lot on tourism. We get more domestic tourism in Chicago because most international, they go to New York, Las Vegas, LA. But we do get quite a bit of international tourists in Chicago, and it will hurt our businesses and our restaurants. So how's that making America great? I don't know. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. You might differ from my opinion. I don't expect anybody to agree with my opinion. But you're going to tell me yours regardless. I get it. And that's what it's all about here. So here we'll cross. This is underneath. This is Wabash. This is Wabash Street. There's the Trump Tower. There's the Jewelers Building. Look at that nice view looking north here on Wabash. We saw it earlier when we were up by the river. So here we'll cross the street here. We're waiting for the light. We need to stay on this side because you can't cross Michigan Avenue on that side of the street anyway. So, Peace, Lisa, how you doing there? 20,000 people still without power. You can't tell we had a blizzard here. Wow. So the winds must have picked up there. Thanks, Lisa. I know you had some crazy weather there, and I hope you're okay. You always get the crazy weather there. I remember years past you would always tell me about how close the damage, sometimes the damage impacts you. Crazy wind here. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well. Your blizzard picked up dust from Texas and New Mexico. So we're having like dust bowls. It sounds like the old dust bowl from the 30s. Wow. That happened in the 1930s. The Dust Bowl wasn't just regulated to Oklahoma and Texas. It blew all across the plains, Great Plains states. And one time it went all the way to New York City. Dust from the Great Plains made it all the way to New York City and darkened the skies in the 1930s. It was a true ecological disaster, and it was caused by, they plowed up too much land that was unarable to plant wheat when the stock market was peaking, and then it got dry and all the dust blew away. And that was the Dust Bowl in the 1930s. It was a human-caused ecological disaster. And they learned how to manage the land better after that. So here we'll cross Michigan Avenue. We got waiting across the street here. I got to hold on to my hat because of the wind here. Get the light here across the street here. Just wait for the left turns here. There we go. We got the lake. So we'll follow along behind these people here. There it is. There's the Wrigley building. Look at that. Yeah, Michigan Avenue. There it is. Hey, they're selling the little trinkets here. Here, we'll look up the sidewalk here. Look at that. Hey, Ernesto Taco, TGIF. You got wind in Albuquerque, 70 miles an hour. Wow, that's crazy wind. Here, we'll get out of here. Yeah, rock on there, Beth. Peace, love, and sunshine there. Yeah. Here, let's go across the street. So we'll check out the bean real quick, and then I'll head back to work here. So appreciate everybody for being on here. Thanks for sticking with us despite the heckling. That's great. Like I said, I got my Thursday one-day pass for Lollapalooza. We got a full weekend pass for NASCAR. I'll hope to cover those things. I don't know if I'm doing Sueños because I got to see if I'm in town, or I might be at my father's place for Memorial Day, and that's when that's going on. And then we got the C2E2. It's a Comic-Con festival. It's coming up in April. I hope to go to that. It's to be on Friday night. And then we got the next Thursday. We got the White Sox home opener, and then following Sunday we got the Cubs home opener, even though the Cubs already started their season in Tokyo. But we got all the spring stuff. We got the band playing over there. Here, I'm annoying people here. Let's see here. No, they were looking at something else. I think they're gonna go buy some gifts. Hey, the drummer's over there. What's this people in green there? Look at the green suits there, covered in green there. I wonder if they wore that for St. Patrick's Day. That's okay. You can always watch. If you missed anything, you can watch the full rerun there. Go to the live tab there on YouTube. That's yesterday. We went to Macy's Marshall Fields, and we went to the Palmer House Hilton, and we'll check out the bean really quickly, and then we'll head back to work here. Hey, they're setting up the bar here. People are skateboarding through here. Look at that. Oh, he wiped out. I could have got him wiping out. He just fell down there. He was doing good. Yeah, when you ride a skateboard, there's always a chance of wiping out. You learn how to fall. Because if you don't, you eventually will fall. It's like riding a bike. It happens. Yeah, Cloudgate. I gotta Some on Omaha won't get power till Monday. Wow. Did you guys see that London's Heathrow Airport, there was a power outage of the substation exploded, and it shut down the whole airport, and it's really messing up international air travel. And that's a major international news story. Affected O'Hare. Oops. Hey, I got snowballs. Last of the snow. Still a little snow on the ground. That's okay. I gotta take some time off. I might do some random live streaming this weekend on TikTok, but I'm not gonna commit to anything because I I like to take the weekends off, but you can always watch the reruns. We got many reruns on TikTok and YouTube. YouTubers are the long ones. Most of them are over an hour long, and this will be added to it. Here's the Great Bean of Chicago. Here, look how nice it looks. See, there I am. See, the trolls can have a heyday with this. They can steal my image and draw a mustache on me and Photoshop my image in some compromising position. Say, look what this guy was doing. With AI, you could use anybody's image and make them look like that. That's how they made Zelensky look like he was punching Trump. They did it with AI, and it looks real. It looks like he really did it. Look at the yeah, they're setting up the bar here. Millennium Park here. Look at that. Yeah, signs of spring. People taking pictures by the bean here. Your son lives in Chicago? That's good. Yeah, thanks. A lot of people do that. You got family members. It's a way to see what's happening in Chicago, what the weather's like. Events give you ideas for when you visit. You can hang out with your family there and check out some of this stuff in person, you know. That's why you motivate me to keep doing this. This is why this has value. And the trolls don't understand that, you know. Hey, look at that dog. Yeah, doing the ballet there. They're dancing too. Look at that. That's awesome. Look at that. So here's the Great Bean of Chicago. Look at that. Look how nice it looks. So here we'll keep going. Here we'll head back to work. So nice to see so many people out and about. This is just like a 45 or under 50 degrees, but look at the crowds of people that are just enjoying being out in the sunshine, seeing the Cloud Gate bean sculpture, and having a good time in downtown Chicago here. Look at that. Thanks, Ernesto. Thanks, Pizza Lisa. Plan BT. Yeah, the rain. Misty Jade there. Yeah, you've been to the bean. That's good. Edwin. Yeah, we saw Edwin once. Let's see. Penny Prost. Good spot there. Yeah. Let's see, what else am I missing here? Magic Bean. Yeah, the Magic Bean. So here we got 1259. We'll head right back to Michigan Avenue. We'll head right back up to Lake Street. I would like to see this band, but we saw this band before. We got footage of the band there. I just got to get back to work here, round out my Friday. Here we'll get the L train going across Washington Street there. So we saw the Chicago Hinge. It's on YouTube, or on TikTok. I know not everybody can access it. So you know, I know it's hard being on multiple platforms. It's just the way it goes. But it was nice that we saw it from Olive Park, and we saw Bob Newhart statue, Navy Pier. I think I got that on YouTube. You search YouTube, Brian Really Chicago, for Bob Newhart statue, and it'll pop up there. We went out there earlier. But hey, we'll head back. We'll go by the Freda. Esta Loca. It's crazy. Living La Vida Loca. Yeah, see you, Sharon, Kevin. Beautiful blue skies. Yeah. Michael Anderson Taco. Thank you. Yeah, I like the little sun there. I hope you have a good Friday. I hope everybody has a good weekend. We'll see some of you on TikTok tonight. And maybe this weekend, maybe not. We'll play it by ear. I'm a non-committal man, a single man. I'm amazed I can even maintain the schedule I do. There, Wildberry. That's the location. And see, there's no, that's supposed to be a restaurant. That's why they built this, and no restaurant's leasing it out. And it's so funny that they put it there. That restaurant could have been there, but they probably are charging too much for the lease. And they need some like really famous named chef. You know, Rick Bayless should take it over or something. I don't know. Or some of the ones we see on the West Loop there. Hey, the Ducks. Yeah, everybody have a good weekend there. Thanks for tuning in here. We'll wait to cross the street here. There goes the bus. Hey, you hear that train? You hear that train whistle? See, there's a Giordano's right there. There's a Giordano's. This is empty. They built this restaurant. They worked on this all last year. But yeah, they announced the Lollapalooza lineup, and you can check it out online. If you want to see the inside the Cultural Center, we did that on Wednesday. And we're just waiting to cross the street here. There we got the light. But thanks, Michael. Thanks, Anita. Thanks for helping me out today. We're going to get more and more crazy people even on YouTube. That's why it always cracks me up. People are like, you get less trolls on YouTube. I'm like, that's not necessarily the case. We have a less amount of people, so the trolls seem less. I think if we had the same amount of people on YouTube as we have on TikTok, we would get more trolls on YouTube, because there's a lot of trolls on YouTube as well, as we find out. And you know, some of it's misunderstandings, but some of it's just stupidness. It's just like idiotic behavior that it's not funny. You know, it's just, I could live without it, honestly. So I don't miss if we accidentally mute somebody that could be a future friend, you know. Oh, somebody dropped something. That's what somebody dropped something. He helped somebody out there that was getting on the bus. They dropped something. That's what was going on. Hey, that was a good deed there. Yeah, the guy dropped something. He helped him out there. It's good here. So let's head up. So thanks, everybody. Thanks, mods. Have a good rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend here. We'll see you tonight on TikTok. And if not, have a great weekend. We'll be back at it Monday at lunchtime, hopefully. Here's Nutella. There's a few people waiting in line. I think they do this on purpose. They try to keep look like people are waiting to get in. Hey, the flowers. They put some flowers out here. Flowers look nice. Look at that. Hey, look at this bike. That's a nice bike. Yeah, how you doing? Like your bike, man. It's nice. Yeah. Hey, we'll cross Lake Street. There's the L round in the bend there.
This is like a big thing.
Look at the crowds on Michigan Avenue. There's a nice dog there. He's got a nice sweater. Yeah, see you, Kristen, ECG, Ernesto. Have a good rest of the week there. Peace of Lisa. Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, I hope the electricity gets restored there in Omaha. Our hearts and thoughts go out to Omaha. Thanks for mentioning that. I'll look into that. Everybody else. And if I missed you, we'll catch you next time. Michael Anderson, Taco, Lambie T, Ernesto. Thanks, everybody. Jason and Scott and Charlotte there. We'll see you later. Okay, talk to you later. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.